Hi, how you doing? You're on mute, I think.
There we go. I just hadn't clicked join.
How's it going? Hey, Eric. Hey, you're on mute. It's so annoying. It's like it automatically mutes everybody before you can come in.
I like your backdrop, Eden. Or yeah.
My
How
little
come it says
virtual back-
Emily?
What's that?
How come it says Emily on my computer?
So, you have to pay for like an upgraded Zoom account to have like a certain amount of people on there.
Gotcha.
And so her account is the one that we pay for to record it and all of that.
Gotcha. My brain kind of did a little, I started to say Eden and then my brain went, wait a minute, something's wrong.
No, it's me. I'm Emily number 2 for today.
There you go.
But how are you guys doing? Hi, Eric. I haven't seen you in forever. I miss
How you doing?
guys. I'm good. What's going on in your world?
Homeschooling.
Yeah? Dude.
Yeah.
I tell
Great.
people, like, this is the time where I feel like I'm very grateful that I don't have kids.
It's kind of cool because they get like, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to be around them all day, but,
Yeah.
and they're only with me every other week. So I get a week off.
Oh, that's true. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's everything with you?
It's good. We're doing the dang thing. It's funny because I live alone, and so I'm trying to preoccupy myself.
Do you have your little hairless cat though?
Yeah, he's actually right here.
Let's see him.
He never leaves my side ever.
Oh, cute.
Baby. So
He's got a little shawl on.
he's got a sweater. I feel bad 'cause I like my house cold, and
Yeah.
so I just don't want him to get cold.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
he's
so
a good
cool.
boy. Did I have a down payment on another one?
You do, really?
Yeah, I'm turning into like a
Wow.
freaking crazy cat lady.
You're a cat lady.
What happens when you live alone, I guess.
Yeah. How much are those? Are pretty expensive, right? How much are they?
He was 1,600, but
Wow.
I mean, my logic is, people pay that much for a hypoallergenic dog. So
For sure. No,
and I'm
that's
super allergic to cats. So I'm like, it's the same thing. Whatever.
yeah. Tons of people pay that much money for pets. I mean, that's like a
I lost you guys. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Hello? Okay, hi. Sorry. I lost you. I might have to move downstairs if I need to. I need to call Comcast because my internet is like so spotty. It's so annoying.
Ours has been the same way. I just think it's because everybody and their dog is on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's stupid though, because it's like it's just me. Like I have my phone and my laptop and that's it.
Yeah. I just think the network is so busy because everybody's working at home,
Yeah, for real. Hi, Christy and Tracy. Can't see you guys, but me, Eric.
Oh, it's for your safety. You can't see me.
Oh, stop.
Me too. And snow me. I'm not going to brush my teeth till 4 o'clock. That's my new normal.
I'm actually driving in the car. I got to take the kids. They get the free breakfast and the lunch at the school. So I'm driving at the same time. It's cool.
Okay, so well, let's get started. Won't keep you waiting any longer. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Thanks for coming, though. I hope that this is valuable, and every week I want to leave you guys with something that you can implement in your business and kind of stay relevant and up to date with everything that's happening. So
It's all good. We like it.
But I really want this to be like a mastermind and just to kind of collaborate. Like let's put our heads together and see, how we can help each other and keep it going. So just a couple of things reminding you guys about Bold. Are any of you guys doing Bold? Christy, Tracy, I think you guys said that you are, right?
I am.
Cool.
I am.
I think it'll be good. Because normally,
You are, Lori?
Yeah, I signed my husband up too. He just got his license, so
oh
I
no
signed
way,
him up. Yeah.
girl, heck yeah, that's so
Oh.
awesome. Are you
He
guys
needs
doing
to
like a partnership, or what are you gonna do?
Oh, I told him to go learn from somebody who can teach him right. I told him to come to KW, obviously, but I said, don't let me be your mentor. I need you to go get with somebody who's going to get it done right first, because I'm still trying to learn. So.
Well, let's do it. I love it. Yeah, and I think this is like obviously perfect timing, but I think it's so nice too, because normally it's $7.99 and it's 8 weeks long, and all of Monday is a training. So it's like literally 9 to 5 of sitting in one training. It's intense. So I'm excited for this one.
I'm
I
excited.
like this one because there's no singing and dancing, which I.
Right? It's definitely
the
more
reason-
like meat and potatoes stuff.
That's the reason I do not go to Bold, is because I do not like the singing and the dancing and the chanting and the cheering.
Yep.
This will
I'm
be,
with you.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either.
No.
yeah, this is just like the nuts and bolts, which that's what I'm in for.
Yeah. Are you doing it too, Eric? Did you sign up?
Yeah,
You
I
did?
am.
Okay. Awesome. And then are you guys part of this Pivot Facebook group? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I think I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm right now.
I would 100% go onto Facebook and request to join this group. It's a broker agnostic group. So, I mean, there's like agents all across the nation in Keller Williams and out of Keller Williams, but this is how we're all collaborating together and seeing what's going on in different areas. And they do a morning shift now, like kind of book club to focus on for the day.
Happy this day.
What's that?
Well, that was a video from Pivot Shift. Apparently,
Oh.
I'm on.
It sounded like Rich. I was like, is Rich on here?
Yeah, we're hanging out. We
Yeah.
don't believe in social distancing, Rich and I.
Okay, and then the other thing is, did you guys see this email come through from Kimber? We are
Yeah.
offering to set up your KW websites for you and add any customization, any pages, anything in particular that you want. I mean, because obviously right now it's more important than ever to have a strong online presence, and not only that, but to come across very professional, right? I mean, that's our one chance to make a good first impression. So keep an eye out, or take a look at this email. She's got a couple requirements of what she needs from you guys, but we can definitely get your website set up. Okay, I wanted to share this video with you guys. Do you know who this guy is?
Yes.
What's his like, I forget what his name is, but this is working in quarantine. I think it's so freaking funny.
Time to go to work. You can't beat me in this, bruh. Run it back. You can't beat me in this. You're trapped. Oh, shit. What time? Is it 2 o'clock? They have a call. Shh. Stop. Seriously. Hey, team. Oh. When are you? You go first. Yeah. Can you not hear me? Can you? Yeah, we got all my roommates here on the Wi-Fi. It's just kind of. I'll get that to you by AOD. You got it. You got it, boss. No problem. Love you. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Packed my lunch today. I don't know. Just kind of. It's a routine. I just did it out of habit. Thanks for jumping on the call, everyone. I know everyone's working remotely. Hey, you working remotely or remotely working? I said, are you working remotely? I will reach out to them, make sure we're kind of all aligned on the same page, and then I'll try to get that by the end of the day. Give me a second. Dude, stop. I have to do this. We're making it work here at the Casa. Things are good. You guys be happy to know we're also a paperless office over here. Yeah, no toilet paper. Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me? Stupid old boomer. There she is. Hi, Diane. Okay, great. So I just want to kind of run through by this week. That's going to be tough for us. We don't have a lot of bandwidth for that, but maybe next. That's cool. Did you just use the word bandwidth? Shut. I'm working. What are you doing? What have you done today? I clipped 8 of my toenails today.
Ew.
You have to work stuff. There aren't we? I hate you. We're gonna fight by the end of the month.
Not all 10, just
Good
8.
talking to you, sir. We value you as a new client. Good to meet you. Bye-bye. You got a meeting at 11 and nothing else to do for the month? No, you have to.
That was me yesterday.
I don't think your camera's on. You have to press. Do you see the button there? I'm gonna see my boss every day. A list of the things I accomplished. So help me out here. If it was real, I watched 4 episodes of Team Jeopardy and took 3 showers. Now you guys go ahead and play a game. I'm gonna do the office happy hour. I'm gonna pregame it. Another fun poem from my boss. Hey there, team. Best wishes to you all. Let's kill it for our clients and kill germs with Lysol. Let me write one back. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I don't care about any of you. Highs and lows for the week. High would be just knowing all you guys are safe and healthy. Right? And lows would be cute. Frickin' doing this stupid. Huh? Oh, wait. That was my roommate. What, dude? Do a fun hat day at work. Just go to your room or something. Yeah, I'm on my 5th meeting of the day with my fridge. Spinning machine rolls. What we got? Ready to set sail on today's tasks? Yeah. You want to play some Warzone? Cool. I'll put on the mouse mover app. Keeps me active online. Still paying me. Okay. Bye-bye. My outfit. The last time the North and South were in this much of a disagreement was the 1860s. Civil War. Outfit looks like an upside-down mullet. That's my spring break outfit. The longer it goes on, the worse it gets. Time to go to work.
Okay, anyways, that was a little bit long, but I think it's freaking hilarious.
That is awesome.
I love the part when he's on the Zoom call and he's like, wait, no, you go first. You go first.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
My
Can you hear
camera?
me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Story of my life. But
Oh.
okay, awesome. So I put together today's session kind of based off of the conversation that we had last week. It really stood out to me, a comment that we made about how we don't want to come across salesy, and we want to be able to bring in business and ask for business without, but being compassionate and considerate given the times right now. So I actually watched a really great training video that's on KW Connect and kind of just gathered my thoughts and a mastermind that we had yesterday with Emily's group. So I think this will be awesome. Also, are you guys familiar with KW Connect? Do you know how to go on there and get like the pre-recorded trainings or watch the live webinars or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty familiar with it? Okay, cool. Okay, so one of the things that I love the most is they shared this 4-quadrant graph of the 4 shares of the shift and how to stay relevant and how to eventually make it out on top and keep the mind share of your clients. So the first one is the market, second is mind share, third is talent, and fourth is heart. And so the first one obviously is knowing the market of the moment. And these are some of the tips that they suggested, but I also added a couple of my own for what we're doing in the office to help you guys. The first one is to check the market stats daily and share those with your clients. And I think that's probably a misconception that people have right now is the market's crashing, homes aren't selling, the real estate market isn't strong right now. Is that what you guys are hearing, or what are you hearing from your clients?
Well, I'll tell you, I have one client who I want to kill, and it's my son, so I can say that because he is like the biggest doomsdayer, and it does not matter what I say. He brings a negative twist to everything. He quotes stats about the economy, and he's like, Mom, I shouldn't be selling my condo. I shouldn't be moving. This is terrible. And I just keep trying to reassure him, look, everybody's going to keep selling houses. Everybody's going to keep buying houses, and it's just where we are in the wave. And you just got to ride it and enjoy it. And he's driving me bonkers. So he's giving me a really good objection handling experience.
And the perfect person to do it with, right?
Well, I don't know. I almost gave him to somebody the other day. I was like, okay, we are supposed to cut our crazy clients, and I might have to cut this crazy client.
My son.
Yeah, I'm going to cut my
I
son.
have a client, a family member that I've cut. It was actually my dad. I cannot, no, absolutely not. So I get it, Lori. How old's your son?
Well, he's at that age where you know everything. He's 28. Yeah.
Well, my 16-year-old does. So how much longer do I have to wait? Did your son start at 16?
He's 28. So yeah, you've got a few years to go still. Yeah,
I don't have enough gray
when he was
hair.
9.
That's so funny. Like you're the real estate professional, and he's the one challenging you. That's really funny.
Yeah, he works in the stocks and trades profession. So he's getting it from the financial market about how the world is falling apart and collapsing, even though he keeps touting to me about how this has been the best time for him to be working and it's great for his business, but the world's falling apart. And I'm like, well, it's the same principle with me. It's a great time to be working. I really believe that. It's a great time to be where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's really interesting too, that he has like the financial perspective of things, because I would say more of the concern right now is lending, right? And loans and getting those loans wrapped up effectively and having lenders that can actually follow through with it is mostly what I've been hearing. But
I want to share this really quick just because I think it is so odd. All of our lenders are saying, oh, we're up in the like 4s, which is still an awesome, great rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we had a client go with Wells Fargo the other day and he got like 2.87.
Oh, what?
I am like, that cannot be real. At Wells Fargo.
Have you seen
it?
It's a 60-day lock.
It depends on the product. I had an FHA get locked at 2.75 2 days ago. So
this is a conventional through Wells Fargo, a 60-day lock.
That's insane.
Have you guys seen that? So Eric, you have seen something like that?
Well, I haven't seen a conventional lock that low, but I did just 2 days ago lock an FHA product at 2.75. So I know that they're doing it. I haven't had a conventional buyer for a little bit, so I don't know that one for sure, but it is happening.
I wonder, and I'm still waiting for the details. They're going through the application process now, but I'm really wondering if this is like a major buy down, or I did hear something about a really high PMI. So I don't know if that's what it is. I am really curious of the ROI on that and if it would be worth it.
Wow.
I would probably, I mean, sounds to me like they're paying for it would be my guess.
Yeah.
I wonder too. Did anyone else hear about what Chase did with their mortgage side of things, where they said that they're not going to be funding any loans anymore that are their down payments are less than 20%?
No.
That was one of the facts that my son touted to me yesterday. So I just wondered if anybody else has heard anything like that, because if that's going to be a trend, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I want to get Brock on our call next week for sure, and we can dive deep into the numbers and the financing end of things. So that's going to be my goal, is to have more guest speakers on next week.
Cool.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So as far as MLS stats, this is where clients are really coming to us and thinking that like we're the economic experts and we can know exactly everything that's happening, right?
I just asked you, Eden.
What's that?
I'm just going to ask you.
Yeah.
When they come to me, I'm just going to hold please. I'm going to ask Eden.
You're going to ask me about the economy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, hold please. Eden will know. Hold on.
Nah, I'll be like, I can probably connect you with the right people. So I just want to make sure, are you guys getting the daily updates that we're sending out every day, like market of the moment type stuff?
I don't think I am, and I would like it, but I'm wondering if maybe it was connected to our team email. Would you mind connecting it just to my Tracy@Tracy Chore email?
Yep. We're also posting it on the Facebook group, so keep an eye out for that. But that's just a good graphic that you guys can use to share with your clients, show them that the market's moving. And then, are you guys familiar and comfortable with pulling reports on the MLS? Pretty much. If we have some time at the end, I'll pull up the MLS and give you a couple tips on it. And projecting forward, obviously, we need to watch the amount of homes that are actually going under contract. You know, I think we're strong right now because we're seeing the results of what we were doing 90, 60 days ago, right? So this is when everything's starting to catch up with the market. So our office specifically, we closed our books for last month, and we're trending pretty closely with the MLS right now. We saw a 25% decrease of contracts written last month. So that's just something that we needed to be aware of. We haven't gotten to the point yet where we're needing to make price adjustments as frequently. What are you guys seeing with price adjustments so far?
I took one on mine this week just because suddenly the market that mine was in is just totally flooded. And so I took a minor one,
Mhm.
but other than that, I haven't seen a whole lot of price adjustments.
Nothing too prominent right now, at least.
I haven't seen anything, but
Yeah, I mean, from what I've been watching, it seems like it's just the normal stuff. Like after a couple weeks, you'll drop it a little bit, 5 or 6,000 kind of a thing. I haven't seen anything too crazy yet.
Yeah. So that's something that we just need to watch out for in the next probably 30 to 60 days, definitely. And the fourth one that out of all the videos that I was watching, something that they stressed a ton is knowing your value proposition, especially for our listing presentations. How are we pivoting our business to still deliver that value to our sellers, right? And one quote that one of the marketing directors said is, good marketing doesn't feel like marketing, right? And that's one thing that stood out to me from our conversation last week about how we don't want to be salesy, right? We want to come across genuine. And that's one thing that I love is if we can create and provide good content and come from contribution, right? Be there to help them, especially right now in these times, then that's where you're really establishing that rapport and that mind share moving forward, right? So I suggested a couple of things right here as far as revamping your listing presentation. And I think it could be one great thing that we could focus on for this week is putting together our listing presentations, adding to it, adding additional tools that KW provides. And so we'll go over holding really effective virtual open houses, and maybe even if you guys think this would be helpful, I could create a graphic that you can provide to your seller about the process that you go through with your virtual open houses to show how that's still going to provide just as much exposure. And then I wanted to throw in here Keller Mortgage. Was somebody going to say something? Lee?
I would just said that would be great. That would be awesome.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll plan on that. I'll make you guys the graphic if we want to have you guys commit to maybe revamping your listing presentation, and we can share what we added next week. And I also added Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. And I think Keller Mortgage is still a great tool that you can offer to your sellers because, let's say that there's, some buyers coming in that need to have closing costs paid for. Keller Mortgage is a great option where the seller can still get their full asking price, right? And not have to pay for those closing costs. Because with Keller Mortgage, there's no closing costs, there's no lender fees, no origination fees. And so that is something that you can offer on the agent remarks on the MLS. So that's a good kind of backup plan. And Keller Covered is an insurance company that we've actually rolled out where you can shop different insurances, home warranties, and compare pricing. So to service like your clients is a great workaround as well. And then
That one more time. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure of all the benefits of Keller Mortgage. So it's no origination fees. What else?
no origination fees, no lender fees, no closing costs. I mean, you're essentially getting a home loan for free. And to be able to utilize Keller Mortgage, you have to be a Keller Williams agent. But as long as there's a KW agent in the transaction, then you can use it. So let's say that you're representing the seller. Because you're a KW agent, the buyer, even if it's not represented by a KW agent, can still use Keller Mortgage. Does that make sense?
how are they, has anybody used them? How are they comparing on like interest rates and stuff? Are they competitive?
Yeah, maybe that'll be another guest that I'll have come on next week. Tammy Loescher specifically is an agent in our office, and she uses primarily Keller Mortgage. And she shared that last year, she saved her clients $60,000, like total between everybody, by utilizing Keller Mortgage. And the rates are very competitive. And what's also great about it is because it's a Keller platform, it communicates with all of our Keller systems, right? So you could pull up on your Kelly app where the process is of the loan itself. So if they fill out the pre-approval form, if it's in underwriting, like you have on-demand information for exactly where the process is. And so does your client as well. So if you guys are interested in learning more about Keller Mortgage, I can add that to our agenda.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time for that. And then I'll dive a little bit deeper into what's called the Home Care Advantage, but this is a service that one of the top producing teams offers to their clients. But what they've done is they've reached out to their vendor network to get, you know, carpet cleaners or carpet companies or painters or any sort of, you know, handyman, things like that. So if you're going into a listing that needs to have some updating or needs to have some repairs done, but let's say they don't necessarily have the funds to do it, by partnering with these different companies, they've worked out an agreement where they'll be paid at closing. So that could be a great leverage tool, I think, for you to reconnect with your vendors, right, and establish that relationship even more strongly, but also deliver something that I don't think anybody's really doing by having a packet like that or a bundle. So anything that you guys would add that you're seeing or that you're doing specific to your value proposition?
I think that what you're talking about is everything that we do right now, every single thing has to be data driven and not focused on so much on the price. If you're talking about price, people are unrealistic about price and dates and whatever else. The only way you can mitigate those concerns right now is with an overabundance of data. So like I have to bring, every little possible thing that I can think of when I'm talking to a seller in order to show them that now's from A to Z, that now is still a good time even, right? Mm-hmm. So I need to show data that shows that. I need to show data where pricing is, show data where everything is. I have to actually adjust based on the fact that comps are 3 or 6 months old when we didn't have this issue, right? So if I'm bringing all of that to the table, I'm much more likely to be able to mitigate concerns than if I'm just going out and trying to get a listing, right? So I've actually changed it to the point where I tell everybody, I tell them, listen, I may not even want to take your listing, because if we can't come to terms on what the data shows here, if it's not going to fit what you need, then it's not the right time, and I'll move on. And what I found is that a lot of people are more willing to listen and say, okay, maybe this, I need to get it done. Maybe I need to be more reasonable. So it's, people still want to sell their homes. They still want to buy a home, but without that like massive amount of data, it's almost impossible to get them to budge.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like again, they're coming to us, and I think that they're anticipating that we can predict the future.
Right.
But letting the data do the talking.
Yeah. It can't be date driven. It can't be price driven. It has to be completely based on the facts. And if you can break it down and show them, then the price will naturally sort of come out. And the date by which you can say, I want to get this sold will come out of that data.
Yeah.
So,
and it doesn't make you the bad guy, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I love it.
And when you tell them that I may not take it,
and you tell them that, is that what you said?
Yeah, when you tell them that you may not take it if their situation doesn't match the data, they sort of get like a little competitive with you, like, why won't you take my listing? So
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so going on to the second quadrant of mindshare. This is a couple of the suggestions and resources that they had. Right now is especially digging deeper with your relationships. So with your marketing, this is where they took the approach of just being a resource, right? And everything that we're doing in our business can be duplicatable, and it really can be applied to any business, right? The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the Shift book, that can be applicable towards all industries. And so everything that we're doing now, or everything that you're learning, is something that you can share with your clients as well. So for example, teaching them how to cut their expenses, or sharing with them different exercises that they can do together as, husband and wife, or for their finances. This is something that can be applied not only towards business, but also towards their personal life as well. Like I think I told you guys last week, there's an agent who has 3 different credit cards, and he has 3 separate Netflix accounts on each credit card because he just kept forgetting his logins or something like that. And so really digging deep can save, you know, a lot of money, and just being that resource for them is, you know, huge. I mean, who's doing that for them, right? So also thinking about doing videos. We'll talk about video marketing a little bit, but do guest interviews with your SOI if they're in specific industries, right? So do a guest interview with the CPA and talk about, you know, best way to structure their finances, or again, cutting costs, or sharing, you know, best practices and things like that. So that's again how we can deliver that value without necessarily being salesy, right? So again, digging deep into your vendors, start with who you know and your SOI. You know, if you have a past buyer, again, who is a CPA, or if they're a handyman or a financial advisor or an attorney or something like that, right? Start with who you know and think about who needs support the most. And a lot of these people are the local companies that we have, right? The small local companies. And so see what you can do to help them, and talk with them and ask them what they're doing to adjust to the situation, and where you can help connect them with who they need to know or the resources they need to have. You guys have any thoughts there? Is that something that you would do, is like doing a Zoom meeting or a Zoom interview with, you know, different professionals?
Yes, I think that's, yes, I think that's a really good idea. I did talk to my financial advisor about doing something like that with me, and he was really leery of it. He's like, due to my best practice and some of, I don't remember what he called, but basically like his ethics, that's not the right word, but basically he's like, I can't just go out onto an open panel and answer open-ended questions. It's like a solicitation kind of a thing. So he did say that he would answer specific questions. He didn't want to be like on a panel or anything like that. So and that just has to do with like his, something with soliciting and his,
Like they have like rules and regulations for what they can and
yes, where he couldn't do that. So other people, so I've been trying to collect this too, from appraisers and from our lenders and stuff like that too, where it's like, I just want to get on a quick video and say, hey, this is what we're hearing from our network professionals, and basically break down a crystal ball, right? Like, I don't think anyone can expect a crystal ball, but like, these are our network professionals and this is what they're saying, and just kind of break down some of that fear, you know?
Yeah.
So I like this. I like what you said, but I did have an issue when I was asking my financial advisor to be part of it.
Yeah. I do know with a lot of interviews especially, but any videos that are done in Keller Williams, they do like a pre-meeting where beforehand they go over the questions together. They go over, you know, kind of the agenda, the itinerary. And so that's like already pre-planned, right? So that might be helpful for him and you to know what he can ask, what he can't ask, and figure out the structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That. Okay. I didn't know that they had like boundaries for that.
So I was kind of surprised by it. You know, I've wanted to have an open panel for a really long time. And I thought it would be really good to have like a lawyer, a CPA, a financial advisor, a lender, us, and, you know, just do a big panel. And it kind of fizzles out just because it's a big project, it's a big event. So we thought, well, we'll just kind of gather the information and then do some like little video blast. But
yeah.
And I talked about this a little bit last week. It's been, I get a little bit scared because it's actually, Eric, you kind of said it best, is just really, really stick to the facts. Like I want to add some of my opinions. Like one of my opinions is, I think, and actually even you said it too, there's an opportunity in every market. And I want to kind of expand on what I mean by that, but I've kind of gotten shy about it because I don't want to be insensitive, right? I'm worried about crossing opinions with facts,
Yeah.
but I have strong opinions too, you know, and sometimes I think our clients want some of those opinions. They want to hear what you really think. They want you to go deeper. And it's kind of hard when you're putting that out on a video that can be interpreted the wrong way, right?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wouldn't be scared of sharing opinions. I think that our own experience is what really validates the data, right? So
Yeah.
I think that it's like that would be, if your opinion is based upon something that you've experienced and that you see as an opportunity or whatever the case may be, as long as you have data to back it up, I would say go for it. I think that sort of personal touch, right? You're the one that is basically deciphering the data for them, right? So there is a personal touch to it, right? And I think that adding that opinion is, you have to do that. And I'm not saying that I only go and I'm just like a data driven, here's this, this, and this. Obviously, right, you have to show them and give them the reasons why. And I think it's a great idea to intertwine the two of those.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm speaking to my clients, just one-on-one, yeah, it's opinion central, right? I'm like, this is how I really feel. And I tell them I'm taking off my realtor cap and I'm putting on my personal cap, but I just, actually, I have been really dialoguing this in my head, and I've been wanting to get this out for a couple of weeks, and then I just get shy. I get all excited about it, and then I go and I get shy because I'm like, gosh, what I don't want to do, because everyone has such a different interpretation of what you say. So any deviation from sticking to the facts, ma'am, I worry about that. But I agree. I think that your opinion is what matters and what people are really thriving for. They want to look behind the details, because a lot of them can get that detail, right? They can go to the internet and get the same information we can get, but getting that opinion, that behind the scenes, I think that's what's valuable. But what's made me shy about it is, and this is just a quick story, but my sister wanted to come and see me. Short story, I thought we were going to get together and stay outside. She thought she was going to come in my house. And I was like, hey, no, social distancing, whatever. It was kind of it was a big deal. She was pretty upset with me. And that's what I mean about interpreting things, right? In my mind, everybody knows social distancing. Everybody knows we're like trying to stay apart and be safe. And she was like, well, you're my family, I can come in your house and whatever. And it was just my comfort level. So that's what I mean about interjecting an opinion on something that's just like a huge open platform. I get nervous about it.
Yeah, well, I think also, I mean, you don't have to know everything, right? And I think that's what's so great about our profession is we have a huge network of other resources. And so I don't think it necessarily has to be just you and just your opinion, right? Like kind of like what Eric does is leverage it onto something else, right? And I think the content and the information is great. And again, how they choose to perceive it, I think that's on them, not you necessarily. But.
Yeah, that's true. I need to get it together. I really do. I just need to execute it. I get all excited and then I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'll get a backbone.
It's clearly still on your mind, so I think it's important. Like that should definitely be a pointer that you need to do it.
Deal. I'll do it.
Okay, love it. Well, that kind of brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So thanks for the segue, but I think this would be so fun to do during Bold, especially. So in Bold, they do a contest called the Bold 100, which means that you make 100 real estate contacts in one day. And that's a contact, like that's a conversation that you have. And so they were talking about what's called the reverse Bold 100, where they partner with local businesses and then they do a huge giveaway. So that could be another email that you send out, that could be a post that you do on social media. But the prompt of it is to say, call in and say that you want to be entered, or message us and say you want to be entered. And by doing that, you're obviously engaging in dialogue with them, but you're able to capture their information as well. So you're supporting your local businesses, and it's a huge deal for them. And you're also able to build your database with that and have that conversation, with them. And this is also a great way for you to use as a care call for your SOI. If you want to call in and check in and see how they're doing and say, hey, just want to let you know, keep an eye out for this big giveaway. We're going to give away a $100 gift card to this company, or, different things like that. So it's just, again, delivering value without asking for anything, right? And then yesterday in one of the meetings that we had with Emily, we started talking about online events and how that's going to work now, given, you know, everything going on. And so we kind of started masterminding some different options. And I guess I need to look a little bit more into this, but Megaplex is offering virtual movie nights.
Yeah.
So do you guys know about that?
Yeah.
So that could be something fun. And if you want to partner with a vendor and deliver popcorn to their house, or you know, different treats or little fun family night packages. So that could be a fun family event, and that seems super easy. Or hosting some sort of a class virtually. And one of the ideas that we had is I'm in the process of getting certified to teach a class called Quantum Leap. And what Quantum Leap is it essentially teaches young adults the mindset and the structure of how to be a successful business person, or, you know, just structure your life to be successful. So I've offered to teach that class, you know, to your SOI's children if we want to do something like that. It's applicable for anybody that's age range of 18 to 25, 26. So, you know, even hosting, you know, small little classes like that, I think could be great, especially because all the kids are home now. So, and then we also have an app called Homekeeper and Command Insights where you can add these vendors to these apps. So they're getting more exposure and it's more value to them when you're reaching out to your clients. So I'll send you guys more information. I just don't want to take up too much time. Okay, so again, doubling down on your touch campaigns. People want to be in a relationship with your face. Like, that's one of my favorite sayings right now is we need to be comfortable with video. We need to be comfortable with live streams, right? So they're one of the top teams in the company. They're sending a minimum of 2 videos a month. And they're all, again, supporting local companies, those interview companies, doing a charity fundraiser for a nonprofit. And we want to obviously integrate some real estate related data and information, but primarily they're leading with value just to support our local companies. Do giveaways and highlight teachers or first responders. Choose a cause that you want to support with your giveaways. Helpful social media content. And one thing that I think is helpful for me is having a theme. So if you want to have a theme for the year, you know, it could be playing off of 2020, you know, add 2020 contacts to your SOI or something like that. But every month have a theme that you want to stick with. So if March, you could play off of St. Patrick's Day, or April is, you know, find National Pet Day. I think we were talking about that, Tracy.
Yep.
But having something to play off of for that month helps your brain kind of start thinking about the content that you want to use. Okay, so the third one is talent, and this is creating talent out of yourself. The one thing that I loved is they were just talking about us being a resource for other agents. And obviously by being a resource and by teaching something, that's how you're going to learn something the best, right? You have to dig deep and you have to know it. It's forcing you to do it. So again, this is where it's going to make it more of a priority for us to actually stop and take the time to look at the daily statistics and look at the market and be able to be that person for our clients as well. And again, one thing that they talked about is called the golden handoff. And I want to get your guys' insight on this to see kind of how you would want to approach this or what your thoughts are. But by being able to be of talent and to be a resource for other people, obviously we're able to make very intentional relationships and connections with other agents. So right now in a shifting market, in any shifting market, right, people are going to get out of the business. Whether they want this to be their cue to retire or they want to just inactivate their license. This is where they've integrated the golden handoff, where we could come into that agent and say, hey, let me take over what you have going on. Your business doesn't have to stop right now. here are my systems, here's what I'm gonna do, and if any transaction closes that's from your database, I'll give you a referral fee. So, you know, if they want to go into a different industry or focus on something else, they're still able to reap the rewards of what they did create. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Was that something you'd want to do? Or I feel like that's kind of shallow waters there a little bit.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. I did see on the Utah real estate Facebook group, somebody said, you know, we're retiring. They were in the business for 20 years.
Wow.
And I was reading through the comments and nobody had suggested anything like that. So I do think, you know, in certain situations it's appropriate. I just think that's probably something just to keep in the back of your mind. If you have even a close friend, you know, I think that's an easy conversation to have. Okay. And then the fourth one is heart. Obviously, you know, the quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So this is where we're pouring back into them by giving them those online trainings, by supporting our local vendors, by simply just reaching out to our clients and say, you know, hey, this is, you know, Lori, just wanted to reach out. I'm thinking about you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. And one of the teams, they just did a mass text on it. And they texted all of their clients in 2020, 2019, 2018, and simply said this script, but they were able to get into so much dialogue. So I don't know if you guys ever downloaded that app that we talked about. What was it called? The mass text messaging app.
Yes. I'll tell you what it is.
I forget. But this could be another great script for you to use for those mass texts that you want to send.
What script are we talking about today?
Just like this little guy right here, you know, you can say, hey, this is Tracy with Sweet Living Pros, and we're thinking about you and wanted to reach out that we're here for you and let us know if you ever need anything. How are you doing? Stuff, right? Okay. Awesome. We got 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to get this across very clearly and like not be so overwhelming. But have you guys held virtual open houses yet?
No.
How did it go? Lori, I know you said that you did, right?
Yeah, I did one once before all this happened. So it wasn't very successful, and I was getting ready to do one on my condo. But I've been doing, I wouldn't call them virtual open houses, but I've been doing a lot of virtual walkthroughs for clients, and then they've been sharing it with their friends.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So, you know, I wanted to ask about that because we do a lot of virtual walkthroughs, and I always ask the seller and their agent if it's okay if I video. But one thing that I started thinking about that, you know, they say yes, but I'm like, gosh, what if I captured something that I don't know, like, I don't know if there's liability in, you know, you take a video of someone's inside of their house and then it gets shared or even goes viral or, okay, I know I'm being a nerd about this, but what if that was the reason that they got robbed or something like that? Like, I wonder if there's liability behind that. Like, I'll ask if I can share it with my client, but then I usually don't let them share it and share it and share it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're more worried about like if you're like featuring a more expensive property that people want to rob it, or
like the liability where it's like it's not a professional Matterport or something like that, but what if you were to capture something on a video and then it got shared? Would there be liability back to you if they could trace it back to, well, it's because they had access to the video?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't heard of anything like that. I think it'd be fine.
This is the world of video. I mean, as long as they know that you have it and it's being distributed and it's helping them market their listing, I think that you're fine. If you felt like you wanted to have like have someone sign something that you could distribute the walkthrough of their house, maybe that would, you know, help allay any fears. But I don't think that there's really. Maybe we talked to Rich about that, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit 'em up is your text app, by the way.
Hit 'em up. That's right. Hit 'em up. Okay. So just some quick pro tips when you're, either marketing or getting ready for the open house or holding the open house is schedule the open house to be held or featured multiple times throughout the day. You could do one from 11 to 11:30 and then take a quick half-hour break and make a pre-recorded video that maybe that's not live that you could add to YouTube or that you could later feature onto your social media. And then maybe do another one from 12 to 12:30, right? But one thing is just be intentional about the time that you're scheduling it. Think about when people are most likely on social media. So, you know, you've got, right now, you typically don't have access to people at lunch, but we do now, right? Or around 3, 4 o'clock when the afternoon, you know, snooze is kicking in, they go to social media, or 7 o'clock after dinner, or first thing in the morning, right? So be thinking about when people are on social media the most and schedule your open house during that time. And then also when you do start the live video, you can tag other people in it. So Lori, you know, you could start your video, you could tag me, you could tag Keller Williams, you could tag Emily. And by doing that, that also gets featured on my profile and other people's profiles. And then you get to start a watch party where people are watching it together. They're making comments together. You can have more collaboration that way. So to just get more exposure, tag team members or other agents. And then another, yeah.
So like when you're talking about this and talking about tagging them, are you talking about a specific kind of platform that you're putting this video on?
Yeah, so you can do either Facebook or Instagram specifically. And when you do a live on Facebook, I don't know if you've ever done a live before.
I haven't.
You haven't?
Uh-uh.
So I'll send you guys like a little step-by-step. I have one that shows you how to do that. But there, you just click on a start live video, and before it actually starts, you get to create the title, and then you get to tag people, do everything before you start it, and then you click start, and then it starts the live video.
Cool. Okay.
So it's super easy. And then one thing that I loved that some of the team shared is that they share the video with their sellers, because a lot of communities have a community Facebook group, right? And you have to be in that community to be a member of that group. So you could send it to your sellers and have them actually share it to that community Facebook group. So you're getting more exposure to the neighborhood directly. And then I don't know if you guys have created a YouTube account yet. I know I talked about it last week. But why are you smiling, Lori?
You know how I hate being on video. I'm so proud I'm actually like letting you see my face today.
I think you look gorgeous. You're way further ahead than I am. I'm going to get ready about 5 o'clock tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
I might brush my teeth at 4.
Right?
Professionalism at its finest.
YouTube is making me it's making me sweat even just thinking about having to do a video.
Yeah.
I'll get over it.
I saw this thing about being camera shy, and it said, believe it or not, that's the way that you look and that's the way that you sound in person. So just be confident and just do it, right? And the more that you get in front of the camera, you'll obviously become more comfortable with it. But if you do those pre-recorded videos, I mean, even have somebody go with you, like have like one of your daughters or your husband go with you, and they can record it, so you're not worrying about where the camera is or how you're placing it, right? You can focus more on what you want to say. But if you do add it to YouTube, this is why I think this is so important, because you actually get exposure on Google by having a YouTube channel. So when you are uploading your videos, these are 2 things that you really want to keep in mind. Is when you upload the video, you'll create a title for it, but then there'll also be a description in there. So when you do the description, you want there to be specific keywords that people might actually be searching for on Google, right? So you could type in townhome in West Jordan, or condo in Park City, or luxury real estate in Utah, right? Specific keywords that people would be typing into the Google search engine is what we want in that description. And then, again, that's the same thing with your results on Google with the title. but your title is something that needs to be captivating and creative and make them actually want to watch it, right? So I would really challenge you guys to create a YouTube channel. You can do that through your Gmail account, your Google account. So if we need help with that, I'd say let's do it. Let's at least try it. Can't knock it till you try it, Lori.
One of the things about keywords, just so you know, make sure that like you want to make sure that they are low competition keywords too, and you can research that as well. So like if they give kind of like a percentage how many people are using it. So you can take keywords and manipulate them a little bit so that there's lower competition, but still a high number of searches. So you just kind of have to do, if you want to go into that realm, you just have to do a little bit more research just to make sure that you're coming up high on search results.
You said low competition words? Is that what you said?
Low competition words, but still high searchability. So so for instance, if you were to say like, you could say condos in some place like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it may be too specific, and it also could be too broad. So there are programs and things that you can do to do keyword research just to make sure that you are that you're ending up high on those searches. So like there are some keywords out there, for instance, condos in Lehigh, right? If you did that, you're probably going to be in a 70% or more of people there's just high amounts of people using that. So you're going to rank low, right? But if you were to say something like relocating to Lehigh or relocating to Utah, something that is maybe less used, and then you can address condos or whatever else in your content.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I didn't know that. I love that. And I do know that Google likes unique verbiage, unique information, and things that are not so generic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know that. So
keyword research, just look it up, and there's different ways that you can watch that you can check your keywords. So if you're going to go online, start there because it'll automatically increase your visibility and results.
Okay. Sweet.
Do you just Google that, or did you say there's a program?
So there are programs out there. I would just Google them and find out which ones are the best. There are good programs out there to do keyword research where each time you type something into the search bar, it will tell you the competition level. It will tell you the amount of people roughly per month that are researching it, that sort of thing, so that you can manipulate whatever you're using in your titles to your videos and whatever else to come up higher in search results.
Sweet. I love it. And then, okay, so using Facebook, command Facebook ads for advertising your open house, I think is a huge, huge tool because as you're doing your ads, you can have there be a Facebook lead capture form. So if they're clicking on the property itself, or if they're clicking on the boosted event itself, it actually auto-populates their contact information. So you're capturing their real contact information right off the bat. So definitely do those. If you're doing a live on Facebook, oh crap. Make sure they're on Facebook, your phone is like this. It's horizontal, because this is going to give you a wider view of the whole property, right? And then on Instagram, you're gonna do it vertically, because if you don't do it vertically, it's gonna show up sideways on Instagram. So just remember that Facebook is horizontal, Instagram is vertical, okay? And then in Command, you have all the design tools, any sort of graphics that you need. And then the MLS did add an option for you to go in and add a virtual open house. Did you know that? Have you guys seen that yet?
Mm-hmm.
So on your Facebook page, I would go in and create an event on your Facebook page, and then take the link of that event and post it onto the MLS. So essentially, you're really marketing everything the same. I mean, it's just a different approach, right? Like it's, different ways that we're doing it. And then on Command, we now have the ability to create a lead capture form on your website directly. So what you could do is create a lead capture form specific for this open house. And you could use that as your boost or whatever they're clicking on your social media. And it could say, sign up for this open house and we'll send you the link, or we'll send you a reminder. So people can go on there and actually sign up. You're capturing their information, but you can follow up with them directly and have a great lead generation source there. Okay. So the actual open house itself, Scott Hardy is amazing at holding virtual open houses. So I wrote down these notes for what he does, but I would go to his Facebook page and friend him and follow him, because he would be a great person to kind of piggyback off of and learn, you know, some good tips for what he does. My first suggestion for you guys is, before you actually start the open house itself, do a pre-walkthrough of the house. So you can get familiar with the layout, you can get familiar with different features, you can go through and turn on all the lights, open up all the doors, so you're not, you know, fumbling around trying to find light switches. Know the community beforehand and share some good information about the subdivision, if it's an HOA that has a pool, or, you know, different things about the actual subdivision itself, but also know what's happening around it. You know, like, by my house there's a Winco going in, or, you know, Daybreak Phase 2, right? So talk about the area as well. One thing that Scott does that I love, it might be a little bit dangerous, is before he actually goes into the property, he starts the Facebook Live in his car. And he drives the neighborhood and shows everybody the neighborhood itself, and just kind of does a quick loop before he actually goes into the house. So I thought that was genius. And then obviously, again, start the video outside of the property. I mean, if you're gonna do a drive of the neighborhood, then that's already happening, but make sure you're featuring the yard and the outside as well. Some people start only on the inside, so they're not getting the full effect of the property. And if you do choose to do an in-person open house, these are just some great tips that he suggests. Is in the entryway, he got one of those big gallon-sized bottles of hand sanitizer, but he made a sticker that goes on the outside of the bottle that has his name on it, his brand on it, his information on it. I mean, stickers everywhere, so people are seeing his name. And also provide booties and gloves. You know, different things just to make people feel comfortable and safe that we're doing our due diligence on there. And there's also like something that you can frame called a please don't list, which means please don't turn off the lights, please don't touch the doors, please don't, you know, open any doors that are closed, right? So the sellers in advance would go through, turn on the lights, open up all the doors, and provide no reason why anybody would need to touch anything in their house. So I thought that was just a nice little tip. Also, I wrote down, be aware of the comments on your Facebook Live video. As you're on a live video, you can comment on it so people can interact with you and you can answer their questions and things like that. Sometimes people will post their information or say that they're interested, or share with you somebody else's contact information. And if they're doing that, they're essentially giving the public their information. So you can actually go in and delete those off. So just make sure you're being aware of that, A, for privacy, and B, not to have any other agents be on your Facebook Live video trying to steal those leads from you. So just two things to be conscientious about. Okay, I hope that was helpful. But do you guys have any like key takeaways? Anything that stood out to you the most? Anything in particular?
I'm a little bit confused on what you said with the bold where they say reach out to 100 people. I think I just misunderstood what that was. So
Yeah.
You're saying find a business and spend $100 and do a giveaway, or what was the 100? I missed
So
that.
the typical bold 100 is you can get, you know, a cold call list, you can get a lead list, you can, you know, get whatever lead source, and you're attempting to make 100 contacts in one day.
No.
So the one that I introduced to you is called a reverse bold 100, where you're essentially doing a giveaway and enticing people to engage with you. So you could partner with another vendor to say, hey, we're going to do a $250 gift card giveaway. Comment on this post, tag a friend, like the post, you'll be entered to win type thing. But the objective of it is to get these people engaged in conversation with you, so you can see how they're doing, or you can see how you can help them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's more aside from you going to get the business like a normal bold 100, we're having the business come to you by doing a reverse bold 100. And it helps with your exposure online and on your social media. So in the meantime, that could be a great thing for you guys to do is go through your SOI, your friends, your family, your past clients, and share your social media profiles with them to say, hey, will you leave me a review on these platforms, and I'll enter you to win a $50 gift card or something like that. Get more engagement through social media. You guys have any other questions? Was the virtual open house piece helpful, at least? Do you guys have a good starting point?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I hope so. Okay, well, I just love you guys. I'll bring on Keller Mortgage next week and a couple other guest speakers, but let's revamp our listing presentation this week. I'll create that listing presentation flyer for you guys with some of the tools that KW has that you can provide to your sellers. Do we want to make any other commitments this week? Do we want to start reaching out to our vendors, creating our vendor list, create a video maybe that we can send out to our SOI, Lori?
Not going to commit to that yet.
Okay.
I'm with you, Lori. We'll put on our big girl panties together. Let's do it.
I'm creating a video actually probably today, so I'll commit to that.
Okay, let's do it.
And by
Eric,
the way,
I want to watch.
if you need to edit your video, I can help. Not me, I'm not going to do it because I hate it, but there are ways to get it edited for super cheap, pretty very professional job too. So hit me up on that if you need it.
Sweet.
No, I will commit to do a video in the next 4 weeks. I will. I did my very first video for something personal for my church calling, and it was a total flop, but I did it, and I was proud that I did it just to get out of my comfort zone. So it took me about 2 weeks to prepare myself to do it, but I will commit to do it eventually.
Well, if we need to get together and do one together, we can put together your content, do a couple test runs. Let's do it.
See, my heart is racing already.
That's how feel the fear and then do it, right?
Girl, you're like camera ready. You're so cute on camera.
It's not about how I look. It's just about it's like I'm confident in a room of 500 people. I can walk in and talk to people like that, but I don't know what it is about the camera. I got it from my mother. My mom's the same way.
We'll work on it. I got you, girl.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll send you guys these flyers that I found. This is a cool worksheet of just finding your personal value proposition like we were talking about. And then this is a cool exercise about cutting your expenses that you could share with your SOI or your vendors, people like that. So I'll send you guys a recap of everything. Anything else that I can help you with right now that you need, that you can think of?
I think you're awesome.
When can we get together
awesome.
to look at or when can we go over setting up the websites and that sort of stuff? I know you guys sent that out. How are you doing that?
So do you want to utilize Kimber to set up her site, or do you want to do it yourself?
Oh, I would utilize Kimber if she's available for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Me setting things up is just a recipe for disaster.
Okay. I'll include that in my recap email to you guys. I'll send you the summary of what she needs and how to get that going.
Sweet. Okay.
Maybe that we can have that be our other commitment for this week, is to get our websites set up.
Good. I got that one.
Okay, good. Love it. Okay. Well, I just love you guys. If you think of anything else that would be of value, if it's like a graphic or anything like that, let me know. Did you guys see the showing homes graphic that we created? Showing homes during COVID?
I don't know if
Or-
I sent that one.
buying or selling in COVID. Okay, I'll send those to you too.
Okay.
But let me know if you guys need
Is that
anything.
the one that shows like don't come in with a fever and all that? Like I think I do. I think I got one from NAR maybe, and I put it on my house, my listing.
Maybe, yeah. I'll include it anyway. So you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
By the way, just so you know, you guys, just a little word of encouragement. I just double-sided and put a house under contract like 3 days ago. So it's still happening. There's
Nice.
still-
Woo!
It's still
Well,
going.
it's all still happening. So just keep doing what we're doing in business. All the people that fall out because of this, we just get to pick up the pieces and continue to grow. So
I love that. I think that that's part of our opportunity is the people that we are working with are the ones who are motivated. So, they'll
That's
be
right.
better to work with, I think.
I think the 25% decrease that we're seeing are just people that were unmotivated to begin with. The remaining business are people that this pandemic, whatever, this hysteria has already vetted for us.
Yeah.
These people are ready to go.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. I know we went
Exciting.
over, but thanks for hanging out, guys. You're the best.
Thanks, Eden.
Okay. See you
Eden,
later.
thanks.
Have a good
Yeah.
weekend.
Have a
Bye.
great
Yeah, you
weekend.
too.
Bye.